So Auntie Monique went on Club Shay, and the interview was 3 hours, but I'm gonna give you the short version. Here we go. So the interview starts with him giving her all her praises and accolades and everything that she's done. And she says, before he starts, I gotta tell you something. She told him when Skip Bayless started tripping on Shannon Sharpe on that interview, he should have dragged him across that table. And I agree. Skip Bayless would have been skip, reverse, draw two, draw forward, everything that I could have did to Skip after he was talking crazy to me. But she also said she appreciated how he handled himself and that he probably would have crushed Skip Bayless in his arms if he did do anything. And that's the truth, because look at them arms on Shannon Sharpe. Them is watermelons. We would have been skipping the Skip Bayless funeral immediately. He then asked her what made her want to be famous, and she said seeing the Jackson 5 and also seeing Oprah. She said Oprah had a big head, big shoulders, and big feet, and that was representation, so she wanted to be just like her. Monique also said before you tell her anything, make sure that it's not nothing bad, because she's the one who's going to tell it. She's going to tell it all. She said the moment that we get into a space where if you're doing wrong, I'm going to say something about it, the world will be a better place. She said that's why so much be going on like Harvey Weinstein and everything else, because a lot of people know, but everybody's scared to say something. That's why she loved Cat Williams. Monique says the world has a problem with a 5'5" giant like Cat Williams or a plus-size woman like her telling the truth, because they should just be grateful that they got accepted into these industries. But she said when you get to a place where you just want to be free, you just don't care no more, and that's the place that they both are in. Shannon Sharpe asked her was she in slow classes growing up, but he was kind of hesitant. She was like, yes, I was in slow classes, I just didn't wear a helmet. She said she could never really learn or kind of understand things like the Boston Tea Party because white people were always praised in these stories and black people were always struggling. She also says she does not rock with her family. She wishes them well. And she said that she's probably the only big person in her family. She was the only one that used to sneak snacks. So then she gets into Taraji and says it's hard for her to watch her be broken on all these platforms. But Monique said a decade ago when she said something, they had the conversation. And Taraji said, you just got to keep going, sis, until your turn comes. And Monique told her, most of us die before our turn comes. Shannon asked Monique, what's the difference between you saying it and Taraji saying it? And she said that it's the messenger. She said she also was calling out names like Tyler Perry, Oprah, and Lionsgate. And that was the problem. She was too bold. Monique said the world has a problem with a black woman standing strong, but they love to see a black woman broken. That's when they take it serious. Monique also said that they be mad that her husband is everywhere, but she don't understand why, because what's wrong with representation? Monique said you can see the obvious tension between Oprah and Taraji, and she don't understand why Taraji wrote her a love letter when she was the one being mistreated. Monique said it was given, you better fix this because you see what we did to Monique. And she said as long as they keep letting Oprah do what she do, she's going to continue to do it. Monique said the only person that apologized to her and her family publicly was Lee Daniels. Monique said on the phone, Oprah said she agreed with Monique's position and how she was taking it, but she said in public, she said nothing. And then she said Tyler Perry called her and said, I can see and hear your pain, but then he lied on her. So this is where it gets interesting. Monique has a recorded phone call of Tyler Perry admitting that he violated and did her wrong. Before they did the interview, Monique let Shannon Sharpe hear the recorded audio, and he verified that that is what Tyler Perry said. Shannon Sharpe was trying his hardest to stay out of it, and Monique was like, no, tell the camera that is what he said. She was not playing. And then Shannon Sharpe said, you know you can't record nobody. And she was like, that's the problem. Y'all worried about me recording him and not worrying about what he said. And she also said that where she's from, she can do that. And I said, oh, okay. Monique said if she wouldn't have recorded the call, it would have just been her word versus his, and he has cost her millions. Monique then asked Shannon to tell Tyler Perry to come on the show and talk about the compensation that she deserves and that she will come back with her husband and sit right next to him. Monique said she sent Al Sharpton the audio of Tyler Perry talking, and he said that Tyler Perry was wrong and he was going to call him to fix it. 6 months later, she said Al Sharpton was on the podium saying, why fly commercial when you can fly Tyler Perry's private jet? Then Monique said she sent the audio to Stephanie Mills, and everybody knows Stephanie Mills do not play. Stephanie Mills said that she talked to Tyler Perry, and he said that he does not want to revisit it. But then he called back and said that he will revisit it without Monique's husband being present. He also said that Monique would have to apologize publicly to him and Oprah about what she said. And she said, why would I do that when I didn't do nothing to you? Then Monique went on Kevin Hart's podcast, and she let him hear it too. And I said, she playing telephone. Kevin Hart said he didn't really know Oprah like that, but he know Tyler Perry, so he would call him. Kevin Hart said he talked to Tyler, and Tyler said, I do not want to revisit it, which I knew he would say. He gonna keep saying the same thing. Mind you, Kevin Hart is the man right now, so Kevin Hart told her, let's move past this. I'll help you with some projects. Like, let's do this. She also said she was doing bad money-wise, and Kevin Hart helped her out because she was being blackballed. He wrote her and her family a check, and she said that she paid it back with interest, and she's grateful for it. So Kevin Hart said that he would help her out, and Monique said she was in a deal with Endemol, so she called them and was excited about it. She said 2 weeks later, she got a call from Kevin Hart's manager, Richard, saying that Kevin Hart don't want nothing to do with Monique, and she was so pissed. Monique being Monique called Kevin Hart immediately and said, what's up with this? And he said it's a miscommunication. Kevin Hart also said that's not what he said, and Monique said, so you gonna let this white man get in between us? Like, that's weird. You're not gonna say nothing about it? Kevin Hart said he was gonna handle the situation, and she said in 2 years, she still haven't heard from Kevin Hart. And that's really crazy. Monique said she don't know why Tyler Perry wants an apology because he made her life hard. Monique said she was offered the role cookie on Empire, and she gives Taraji her props, but she said that she was blocked from it because of Tyler Perry's lie. Monique said Tyler Perry told David Talbert that she was difficult to work with. And to this day, they both have said nothing, only Lee Daniels. Monique praises T.S. Madison and says the reason why her and Lee Daniels are good is because T.S. Madison called Lee Daniels and said y'all need to fix this. She also says T.S. Madison fights a lot of battles that people don't know about and they should be giving her more praises. Monique says Oprah goes around saying she is 70 years old and has never hurt nobody, and that is a lie because she has been trying to get her attention for a whole decade. Monique said Oprah is still one of us, but she needs to come back across the street and not scream. Monique says she only started talking about Oprah publicly when Oprah started talking about her privately. When Monique had won her Oscar, Oprah invited people to come see her and talk to her. Monique said that Oprah kind of felt some type of way because Monique was getting more praises than Oprah at the time. Monique said Oprah started making stuff hard for her and started taking roles from her. Lee Daniels wanted Monique in films, but he could not afford it, so he told Oprah about the films and Oprah would take the role. Oprah's role in The Butler was supposed to be Monique's, and also the grandma in the Richard Pryor movie was supposed to be Monique, but Oprah took it. And Monique said she may be wrong, but she said she want to have the conversation because that's what it feels like and it's suspicious. Shannon Sharpe was trying to be politically correct when he was asking the question about Monique and Oprah getting the big fat roles, and Monique was like, don't be scared to say what you got to say. You big and in the Hall of Fame. Don't be scared. Shannon Sharpe said he's just not trying to get canceled. Monique said Oprah has overstepped her boundaries multiple times and that if they were not famous and they both worked at Costco, they would be seeing each other in the back room about to fight. So this is where it got weird. Monique said that Oprah had called her and asked her to come on the show because her brother wanted to come on there and admit that he molested her and talk to people about watching out for predators. Mind you, this is right after Monique had won her Oscar, so why would she want to do that? Monique declined, but she said that if her brother still wanted to go on there, she was fine with that, but she didn't want no parts of it. Oprah said, okay, she understands, but then Monique said she started seeing previews of the episode with her mother, her father, and her other brother on there too, and she was pissed off. She said Oprah only told her about her brother going on there. She called her and asked for her brother, so why would you get my mother, my father, and my other brother and did not ask me? Also, Oprah knows that Monique does not rock with her mom because she has talked to her about it multiple times, so why would she bring her on there knowing that she don't rock with her family? Monique said she felt betrayed, and she also said that Barbara Walters had the opportunity to do the interview, and she told her no, she couldn't do that to Monique. Monique doesn't understand Oprah's motives and that she just won her Oscar, so why would that be the premise of what she want to talk about? Monique also says she does not rock with D.L. Hughley because she went on his show without him there and they tried to play a game of Would You Rather. The question they asked her was, would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Stephens without a condom? And she said, why would you ask me that? Monique said, what are you trying to say and how does that uplift the community? So then she said she called D.L. and said, hey baby, and he said, yeah. She said it was very weird, and then she asked him why would they ask her that, and he said that's just how we do things over here. D.L. Hughley also said it is what it is, and she said that she sent a cease and desist and the episode never aired. Monique said ever since then, D.L. Hughley has been running from her, and they had headline shows together, and he would not show up in L.A. And then she said in Detroit, she was the headliner and that she had to go up by 9:30 in her contract, but D.L. didn't show up to 9:30 on purpose. She said through all this time, D.L. has been talking bad about her, and she does not understand why. She also said Cat Williams left D.L. Hughley out of the loser pack of comedians when he was talking about everybody else. Monique says everybody always talks about her Oscar, but she's more proud of her NAACP Image Award. She said growing up, she will always see more representation of black people on the Image Awards and the BET Awards, so that means more to her than an Oscar. She also told the story about her being humbled about Tisha Campbell winning because she just knew she was going to win for the 4th time in a row. Monique said stand-up comedy happened because her brother bombed when he went out to do it, and so he dared her to go do it. Monique said she went, got a standing ovation, and she knew from then that that was her life. Monique said the Queens of Comedy tour was something that was monumental and she'll never forget it. She also said she would never do it again because they were treated differently than the men. She said the men would get separate limos and they would try to put them in one limo. She said the men got Rolexes at the end. They didn't get no watches, no nothing. She also said she was not originally with the Queens of Comedy, but she ended up joining and she loved them. She also was not the headliner, Samora was, and she said that Samora seen that Monique had the energy more than her, and one night she just told her, you're the headliner over me. She said she'll always respect Samora for that and that Samora did what was best for the show and she wasn't in her feelings about it. Monique said she's still fighting for her money with Countess Vaughn for the Parkers because they're trying to act like it's no money. Monique said it went off the air in 2004 and by 2009 it made $800 million. She said that was just a 5-year gap, so she said imagine in 2024 and they're trying to act like there's no money. She said by the last season they recorded 22 episodes and they were only making $55,000 an episode, which is unreal. Shannon Sharpe said they should have been making like $150,000 because the show was a hit. Monique says she has never auditioned for nothing, and if they want her, they know exactly what she does because of her resume, so she doesn't audition. That's why she didn't understand why Taraji P. Henson, after everything that she has done, auditioned for The Color Purple. Monique said once they got her to audition, they knew they could treat her any kind of way, and that's why she was treated like that. Monique says she doesn't know why people are scared of her husband, and people like Tiffany Haddish shouldn't speak on nobody with a husband. She said maybe if she had a husband, she wouldn't have 2 DUIs, and people wouldn't think that she's agreeing with molestation. Hey, her up real quick. They talk about Precious, and Monique only made $50,000 from that movie because it was independent. She said she did everything she was supposed to do in the contract. She said it started being problems when they wanted her to be a slave. She promoted the movie when it was under Lee Daniels, but she said when it went international, she wasn't obligated to do that. and they got mad at her when she didn't want to work for free. They wanted her to promote the movie internationally with no pay. They also talked about Almost Christmas, and she said she was only supposed to be a cameo and she did it for a friend, but they ended up stretching her role all through the movie. She also said her trailer blew up and all they cared about was the wigs. They didn't even care about her. Will Packer overstepped his boundaries multiple times on this set. Monique just wants accountability and reimbursement for all the years that she has been blackmailed. That's it. She also told Shannon Sharp stop messing with these young women.